What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And we just got an absolutely loaded injury update. We'll talk about it all right after this. Ladies and gentlemen of Chiefs Kingdom, welcome back into another video on my channel. Andy Reid just gave us an absolutely loaded injury update this morning during his opening press conference for the week. And the first injury update that we got, this is from Harold R. Kuntz. We're just going to jump right in. Reid says there's no limitations on practice for Xavier Worthy and Jalen Royals. And then another update we got from Nate Taylor of ESPN says, as expected, Andy Reid said Mike Danna, left hip, and Kristian Fulton, left ankle, will not participate in today's practice. So let's start with the biggest news. Xavier Worthy and Jalen Royals both practicing without limitations. That's the biggest piece of news. Not only that they're practicing, but without limitations. Jalen Royals will be a full participant, Xavier Worthy as well. I'm sure he'll have his shoulder braced up and everything, but he'll be a full go at practices. And this is huge because, man, the Kansas City Chiefs need weapons back on offense, man. Like, the offense against the Eagles looked pathetic at best, and Mahomes really struggled to push the ball downfield. We've already talked about the Chiefs' lack of running game. That's another problem. But unfortunately, they don't have the horses there. They don't have reinforcements coming. At wide receiver, they do have reinforcements coming. And although it's not their wide receiver one, Rashee Rice, who's still suspended, getting both Jalen Royals and Xavier Worthy back for this week would be huge because, man, they just need some athletes there. They need talent, youth, athleticism. Jalen Royals and Xavier Worthy provide that. I love what Tyquan Thornton brings to the table. He's been a pleasant surprise this year, but he just shouldn't be playing as much as he already has. And he'd be a lot more effective if he wasn't, your number one wide receiver, essentially speaking. Juju Smith-Schuster, I'm pretty sure we all understand what he provides. He's a veteran presence. He can catch a couple balls, but when your offensive game plan has to heavily involve him, things are just not in a good place. Xavier Worthy, I still question how effective he'll actually be. It sounds like he's trending towards playing this week. We'll get more of a clearer picture on Thursday and Friday, but man, I just question how effective he'll be with that shoulder injury. I mean, that was a gnarly shoulder injury he sustained in week one, and I just don't know if they can stabilize it enough for him to be effective, or, the re-injury risk is what I'm really concerned about. Like, if he takes another big hit after making a catch, like, what is that going to look like? Is he going to get knocked right back out? I guess we'll see, but I'm more excited about Jalen Royals, honestly, and his return because we just haven't seen him yet. He was dealing with that knee tendonitis injury. I said last week I was starting to get worried about him just a little bit because he still wasn't practicing. I was like, should he have just gone on IR? And maybe he should have, but hey, you're getting him back this week. You're desperate for reinforcements. And I think the Chiefs might be kind of at the point already, with the 0-2 hole that they're in and staring 0-3 down the barrel going up against a Giants team that I think, we saw they have a potent offense, and Russell Wilson still has the ability to push the ball downfield. You need all hands on deck this week. You cannot start this season 0-3. And if you can get just a little bit out of Jalen Royals this week, who I think is probably an upgrade over Juju Smith-Schuster and is another option that Mahomes can look to, that's a good thing. And we also heard coming out of the draft that Jalen Royals had a lot of similarities to Rashee Rice, and that the Chiefs would probably use him in that similar way, and he can play out of the slot. And if you can get someone to at least emulate Rashee Rice while he's still suspended, that would be massive. But those are kind of my thoughts on Xavier Worthy and Jalen Royals practicing this week. We got some not so great injury news about Mike Danna and Kristian Fulton. But before I get into those guys, I just wanted to show you all a quick message from our partners on this channel. So let's go ahead and check that out. Wanted to take a moment to shout out our partners on this channel over at W Energy. Guys, if you have not heard of W Energy, you're absolutely missing out right now. If you're someone like me that needs that jolt of energy when you first wake up in the morning, or when you're trying to take on a big task for the day, such as working out or maybe trying to complete a project for school, anything like that, W is an essential. I'm someone that unfortunately has gotten into the bad habit of drinking a lot of caffeinated energy drinks filled with sugar or artificial sweeteners or flavors, but I'm trying to curb that now by using W Energy, which is a much better alternative. W is a powered energy drink that replaces other inferior caffeine beverages. It contains zero harmful chemicals, zero fillers, zero artificial colors or dyes, and no proprietary blends. The star of the show is their coffee fruit extract, which helps you focus without the jitter or the crash of other energy drinks or caffeinated drinks out on the market. And they just sent me their Japanese yuzu flavor that I've been drinking recently. It is absolutely fantastic. One of the better tasting energy drinks that I've ever had. And I'm going to continue to use it and check out some of their other flavors as well. I encourage you all to do the same. And luckily for you, you can use my promo code SHOWMEFB by clicking the link down below and putting that promo code in when you go to checkout, and you can get an additional 10% off. Stop drinking those unhealthy energy drinks and start drinking W Energy instead. Go check out their stuff. They're going to be partnered with me all football season long. Go and check them out. So yeah, guys, definitely go down in the description below. Take advantage of that sale that's going on right now. Use my promo code. W Energy is great. Tastes wonderful. I've been using it for a while now, and I absolutely love it. So back to the video topic. I wanted to address the not so great injury updates about Mike Danna and Kristian Fulton. You see it there again by Nate Taylor. Mike Danna, left hip, Kristian Fulton, left ankle. They both left the Eagles game with that injury. I can't remember if they both got hurt on the exact same player or not, but it was very close together that those two injuries happened. And it's really unfortunate for Kristian Fulton because we just still have yet to see him like healthy and fully integrated into this defense. He was injured for most of training camp and preseason, didn't get to see him. And then he injures his ankle again. And it's just like, man, are we ever going to get to see Kristian Fulton? Because that was one of the signings that I was most excited about in the offseason, because I just thought he gave you that depth, that outside corner that would allow Trent McDuffie to move back into the slot full time. But if you can't get him back healthy, then you can't really do that. You can't carry out that plan, that vision that the Chiefs had for the defense. So I hope he gets back soon. I'm starting to worry a little bit, though, about his durability. I just hope the best for him. I think the positive thing, and this goes for Mike Danna as well, who I'll touch on here in a second, but the positive thing for both of them is that you haven't seen them placed on IR yet. And that tells us that the injuries are going to be relatively short term, hopefully, right? That could always change. They could always make the decision to put them on IR, I guess. But it seems as if right now, both of them, this will only be a short term thing that they have to deal with. As for Mike Danna, as soon as he went out, I kind of was like, this is a little bit of a blessing in disguise because we get to see more of Ashton Gelati. You get to turn the young guys loose a little bit. And it sucks that it's come to this point with Mike Danna, because I've always said, and I always, reiterate this every time I bring up Mike Danna, I like him. I think he's a great rotational defensive end to have in your lineup that can come in and play 30% of the snaps. He's a good DN 3 or 4 on a good defense. His pass rush win rate is just not good enough to be out there, to justify him being out there as much as he is. And if this gives you the opportunity to throw out a better pass rusher like Ashton Gelati, who I think showed a lot of flashes in week 2 against the Eagles, then I'm fine with that. I think that's a blessing in disguise. And, hopefully Mike Danna will be back soon, because you do still need that depth. But hopefully this gives Ashton Gelati a chance to prove what he can do. And maybe the Chiefs decide to stick with him a little bit more, even after Mike Danna returns from injury. That's just how the NFL works sometimes. Someone else gets thrust into action, then you find out, this guy's pretty good. Especially with the continued experience that he'll now be getting. So those are my thoughts overall on the big injury update we got from Andy Reid today. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Definitely want to hear from you guys down in the comments below what your thoughts are on this injury update that we got. I think overall pretty positive, a lot to be optimistic about, but definitely let me know your thoughts down below. So with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com for more. And last but not least, follow the Twitter at ShowMeFB. That's all I got for this one. I'll see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.